Welcome back. Now, South Africa's unemployment rate remains among the highest in the world. Just this week, we saw 21,000 jobs lost in the first quarter of this year. Businesswoman Vusi Vokwana believes the township economy has the potential to reduce the country's high unemployment rate. She joins us now to talk about this and how this can be achieved and how opportunities are there and tools to succeed. Welcome, Vusi Vokwana. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. Let's just speak about how you believe that the township economy can put a significant dent in our youth unemployment.
So thank you so much, Heidi, for having me tonight. I think without a doubt, the township economy has always been the underdog. But as you can see, while the mainstream market seems to be hemorrhaging jobs and opportunities are closing, everybody's looking for different markets where they can start playing in. And now suddenly the township market is the market du jour. Now, we know that 60% of South Africans live in this market, and it only makes sense that we should be employing more people or encouraging people to be employed in this area, so that we've got a situation where not 20% of the population is having to cater or employ the bulk of this country's people, you know. And I think the way things have been going before, where we've had during apartheid a history of the township being just a place for labor, we're seeing such a change in the way that townships are being perceived by both consumers and by the mainstream economy. Everybody's chomping at the bit to get into our space. We're looking at companies like, you can see Mr. Price. Obviously, we know ShopRite has always been sort of, I guess you could say, stuck with the township, and we've been stuck with them. We've seen how spaza shops have been able to do really well, run by mostly foreign nationals in our market. And I think it's time for us as township people to be saying we need to keep our funds in the township and try to encourage each other to buy as local as possible. And I think for people like you, Heidi, in the media, it's critical that we force you to change the narrative. Got to start saying, you know, that this township is a place where we can start making money again. We need to recognize it for what it's worth and stop this, you know, scaremongering or media mongering that you do, where you're constantly telling us that we can't achieve things. We look at the annual Stokvel market, for example. It's an 80 billion rand industry. We look at the taxi sector. That's also multi-billion rand industry. So we know that there's a lot of money already running through the township economy, and all we do need now is for it to be recognized for the value that it contributes to our economy currently, right? And the only way that we can help young people get into the job market quickly is in the township, because we can see that the barriers to entry there are limited. And the issues that we're facing in our township market are the same issues that we've always had throughout the history of township entrepreneurs. And it's been three things. It has been access to market, access to finance, and a failure to remedy infrastructure inequalities that are a legacy of apartheid. So if we could just get those three things sorted out, the township economy would be able to stop the hemorrhaging of jobs. You know, we'd be able to plug a hole in unemployment.
Yes,
change the conversation.
Sorry to interject there, but I mean, you've touched on a lot of elements that are crucial here, but it's also about having a conducive environment and a conducive space for these township economies to thrive. I mean, you said something like we need to change the narrative and constantly think about buying local, and that's so imperative in terms of really employing young people, but also people that can make a difference in their environments. Do you think that the environment is conducive enough, given all the challenges, the red tape, the load shedding and everything else that comes with the very difficult economy and market to operate in? Do you think it is conducive enough? And do you think that is a challenge and a stumbling block for many to enter into a township economy?
I think this market, you can't say, is it conducive currently, when we know that we are financially excluded, right, from finance, not from the mainstream economy, from finance, accessing capital, right? So we're not going to be able to change very much if we don't have money. I mean, we're looking at I think they recently said we have a 300 billion credit market deficit in South Africa. That's in the township market. That's people who are unable to access credit and the credit that they need to take their businesses probably to the next level. So that's the first thing. But also, I think the upside about township entrepreneurs is that they have been operating without support for so long that majority of them have honed their skills on surviving with next to nothing, that they are actually the elitist of entrepreneurs that we have in South Africa. And so whether the environment is conducive or not, they will survive. There's a significant number that will continue functioning outside of the market being conducive. But the bulk of people that need to be employed need an environment that is going to allow them to thrive in that space. So that's your new entrants, your startups, your young people that are graduates and have no skills that can be utilized in a mainstream economy. This is an environment that will allow them to start. The barriers to entry here are very few, or at least limited. Where you face constraints is when you either try to access the mainstream market, that's the access to market that I was referring to earlier, or you're looking for funding. Then you're going to have problems. But the township economy, the nice thing about it is it allows a person to start tomorrow with whatever you have, wherever you are. You can literally put up a shack or a counter or whatever anywhere because there are no real restrictions to trade.
Certainly. Thank you so much for your insights. I wish we had some more time, but thank you for highlighting this very important conversation. It's Vusi Vokwana, who's the founder and director of Kasi Catalyst. That's it.